Well, hello everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are out there in the world. It's kind of a gray day here in South Alabama. One more day of rain, and then Saturday morning we got cool temperatures. Looking forward to that. But I better be careful what I ask for because it's actually going down in the 30s sometime next week, but it's all good. Today I want to talk about the raw food diet and cravings, what I do. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, go down there and hit that subscribe button now, right now. Then click on the little bell, check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Cravings. Everybody's always talking about their cravings. What do you do with your cravings? How do you handle cravings? I pretty much give in to all my cravings, especially these days because my cravings aren't bad. A little bit of a trick question there. What do I do about my cravings? You thought I was going to have all these tricky answers. I did used to do that. I mean, back in the day, when I did still have light cravings, I was always pretty good at not like indulging my cravings too much. I'm trying to think of what I used to have a craving for. I did I talk about now, I really have no taste for them whatsoever. I did crave nuts more back in the beginning. And I would feed myself just enough to satisfy that. Like, I didn't just keep nuts around the house. I would, if I had a specific itch for the nuts, I would go out and buy a small package and eat those. And I usually found that, that satiated me and I would be okay after that. But I didn't really have a lot of bad cravings. Thinking back to the beginning, any cravings I have had on this diet, any cravings that I still have now, are actually pretty healthy cravings. They're not the best. I'm not saying that all my cravings are the best of the best choices, but they're not that bad. Me and my body, we just been kind of working together on that since I've been doing this health journey. My body doesn't ask me for anything all that crazy, so I tend to give it what it does want when it wants something. And the point of today's video is not so much this specific thing, but I'll cover that a little bit, but not specifically how to tell you to substitute this for this craving and that, but to make the point and impress upon you, get rid of the cravings altogether. Do you want to deal? I mean, I don't know what to do with people when they've been dabbling, playing around with this lifestyle for 2 or 3 years and they're still talking about cravings. I'm like, well, cuz you might need to go break down everything you do, because if you're 2 to 3 years into this thing and you're still having cravings that you can't control, well, you ain't doing this thing right. Sorry, that's my opinion, but you ain't doing this thing right, because if you're progressing, if you're getting cleaner gradually with what you're eating, by the 2nd or 3rd year, for sure, those cravings should have kind of like settled down, or at least be at a point where you don't have that much problem with them anymore. The reason it's not, people keep reintroducing, they keep telling themselves this stuff. Humans love to rationalize. Somebody posted something today, I can't even remember what it was, if it was about food, health, or whatever, but I saw rationalization in there. It's kind of like we like to cling to things the way we want them to be instead of the way that they actually are. Bottom line is, you keep putting what you crave into your mouth, introducing it into your system, you're going to keep craving it. That's freaking simple right there. Cravings are not going to go away. It's like, okay, you smoke cigarettes. Every time, you can probably relate to this if you've ever quit smoking cigarettes before. Have you ever quit smoking cigarettes and then maybe you've quit for a week, 10 days or something like that, and you go back? And all through that 10 days, that week or 10 days, your craving's gone down. You've gotten a little bit better at it. On day number 10, you give into it. You put that nicotine right back into your system, and it's almost like you're starting over again because you've reintroduced what you're craving, what you're addicted to into your body. So that's why I'm always trying to, promote the slow burn here, the just do it, and, not trying to be spectacular, not trying to do all this fancy stuff and go 100% raw overnight and doing your juice feast and water fast and this, that, and the other. It's about a longer process of eating good, clean food. It's not about any one little period. Okay, well, I just did this cleanse, or I did this for 3 weeks to get rid of stuff. And yet another reason why I think most people doing these cleanses and their juice feast are mostly wasting their time. Like I say with that kind of stuff, if you're going to do one, cleanse yourself, prepare yourself for this lifestyle, that's good. But if you're constantly having to do some kind of cleanse to deal with your cravings, well, that's just not a very effective process right there. What do I always go back to? What have I said? And I don't know how many videos. No matter what little gimmicky stuff you do, no matter whose program you follow, whose cleanse you follow, whose detox you follow, at some point on this lifestyle, you're going to have to learn how to eat. You're going to have to learn how to eat real food. And you're going to have to learn how to do that day after day after day after day. Because you can, like I say, we won't debate that the juice feast and the fast and the cleanses have some benefit, but you can't live on those. Those are something you do. You cleanse yourself. Maybe you do more than one. I mean, I do know the cleansing process takes a while, but you don't do this constant, okay, let me do a cleanse, now let me go eat garbage. And you always have to do a cleanse because you have to eat garbage. See, I've tried to constantly move forward a little by little by little, get a little bit cleaner, get a little bit healthier since I've been doing this lifestyle. And yeah, these days, nothing. I mean, like sometimes the worst my cravings get, I'm like, oh God, I really crave some more ice cream today. So I'm going to eat ice cream twice in a day. Is that optimal to eat that much ice cream? No, probably not. I don't know. But it ain't that bad. It's a hell of a lot better than going through the Mickey D's drive-through. It's a hell of a lot better than eating, a lot of things that most people eat out there. So I'll take that. I can deal with that. So yeah, I've just given my body, me and my body, we've had an agreement with ourselves. And I know I'm being a little silly here separating us, but it is kind of true. All from the beginning, I was at different stages of what I do now in my cleanliness, and all along the way, I've had little things that I've craved that I would give into, but they were generally things that I made a conscious decision. It wasn't just like I buckled under a craving and all of a sudden there I'm eating some animal products or eating something terrible. I would usually be like, okay, and I'd be pretty rational about it. I'd like, okay, well, you're craving, you've really been thinking about those pistachios for 2 or 3 days now and you just can't get them out of your head. The best way I found to get them out of my head, I'd buy a small pack of pistachios. I'd eat those pistachios. I was satisfied. And then it was gone. I didn't have to think about it over and over. So on the one hand, I am being kind of harsh. I'm saying, okay, just don't do that stuff. But on the other hand, milder cravings, less harmful cravings, yeah, I give my body that because that's what keeps me going. And I know everything I talk about, my process, everything is so scattered. It's just hard to even follow. But it works for me. It works for me. It may be chaotic, but it works. I got a couple of nice avocados sitting over here now. I crave avocados from time to time. I don't eat, I'm not a heavy fat eater, but when I want an avocado, I eat an avocado. And you know what? I've got 2 avocados here right now. I might sit down. I may not, but I might sit down and eat both of these avocados in one meal because I want to. Because every once in a while, it doesn't call for it very often. My body doesn't ask for fat a whole lot. In fact, a lot of times I have to think, okay, you need to start adding some fat back in because you haven't used any fat in 4, 5, or 6 days. So I don't use a lot of overt fat. When I get that taste and I really want a couple of good avocados, I won't hesitate to sit down and eat 2 avocados. Now, before anybody, oh my God, 2 avocados, you got too much fat. That doesn't happen very often. I can't tell you actually the last time I sat down and ate 2 avocados. And maybe that's the reason, because I give myself that permission that, I don't know. Maybe if I was totally like, I will not eat avocado, I will not eat avocado, I will not eat avocado, it would be harder. But yeah, I give myself what my body asks for. And it doesn't ask for bad stuff anymore. No, okay, this video is just rambling and stuff, but work towards getting rid of cravings. You know, you can keep substituting things for cravings, and there's plenty of that kind of stuff. Like if you're missing salt in recipes, you can use celery, you can use Bragg's aminos, you can use coconut aminos. You know, we have plenty of fruit to satisfy the sweet. There's a lot of little recipes out there if you even need something sweeter than just plain fruit, you know, like raw granola bars. There's all kind of stuff out there. But you know, my body just has progressed. And you know what? It's been a slow roll. I can't say this happened in year one, this happened in year two. It just sneaks up on you. One day you realize, yeah, you know, I haven't eaten this in forever. I used to really love this. This used to give me a problem. I used to want this all the time. So your cravings will go away. You just got to find out a way. You got to figure out a way. Okay, I'll ballpark it and finish with this. In the beginning, when you're doing this lifestyle, you have cravings. Think of substitutions. Try to do these healthy substitutions, like I just said, for the salts, for whatever. Maybe you've got a certain dish, like you used to like lasagna, you used to like tacos. Find a raw version of that. You know, figure out something you need when you need a dessert type thing, when you need that sweetness, but you also need something a little bit more like we're used to with the processed desserts. Do that in the beginning. And you will see, if you will stick to this and if you will not continuously give into those cravings, you find in the beginning, you find good things to substitute. And after a while, you just turn around one day and the cravings are gone. And if you have to use things like ice cream to do that, do it. Do it. Man, I'm telling you something. I'll tell you, I've been back in the States for a year and about 4 months now. Since I started eating more and more ice cream, I'm more raw in the States than I had been, say, a year ago and before that. Because now I just, you know, default to it. I don't get as much stuff around here, so I always got bananas in that freezer over there. So, you know, I can eat banana and ice cream anytime, and I do that because of where I am right now. You know, it's like I'm just want to stick to the bananas. Don't ever tell anybody that they should eat like me. In fact, I'm not sure I recommend people eating like me. It's not a very it's not a big variety of stuff, but anyhow, cravings. You can get rid of those. There's a way to get rid of them, but you have to get in there. You have to really work at this, or not necessarily work at this, but you just have to figure out things that work for you. Do little tricks that work for you. I got little tricks that work for me in almost every aspect of my life. I'm always hacking things, but anyhow, hope you enjoyed this one today. Hope it didn't ramble too much. Hope it made a little bit of sense. And if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.